right, Nick's got some NBA medals to give out. Steph, right back to his hot shooting ways last night. 7 threes. He had 37 points in a win over the Kings, but he just missed a medal from Nick. The bar is high, Nick. Who did it better this weekend?
Sorry, Steph. It was an important win for them, and he played great. He just misses out. Bronze medalist Kevin Durant. With, by the way, co-bronze medalist Steve Nash. I've been critical at times for Nash making what I consider rookie coaching mistakes. Nash's decision to say, you know what? We're playing a big game against an excellent team. We want Durant down the stretch. So we're just giving him 0 first quarter minutes. That way he can be on a minutes restriction and play the final 3 quarters regularly. I think it's very smart. Durant gets the bronze, 33, 6, and 4 in a great win. Silver medalist, Ja, Friday night, 33, 5, and 13, and a very important win for them. And Portland, meanwhile, my goodness gracious, Portland, the worst time of the year for them to be playing their worst basketball of the year. They're going to be in the play-in again, and I don't know how much I like their chances. And gold medalist.
Oh, look at that.
According to the numbers, most clutch shooter in the league, Russ. 37, 11, and 11 for the hottest team right now in basketball with respect to the Knicks. It's the Wizards. And that's a team that I think out east, folks are not going to want to have to deal with in the play-in. Russ, after a very difficult start to his tenure with the Wizards, has been playing some of the best basketball of his career for a couple months now. So credit to him for what he's done and what his team's done. There's your medal stand from this weekend.
Yeah, I don't have anything here, Nick. You got it right. I think this is the second time all season you got it right. 2 weeks ago, you got it right. So I don't have much here. You hit it on the head. Good job.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Sorry, Steph,
right,
you get snubbed.
Steph missed the cut. Wilds, who else just missed the cut?
Well, Jenna, I'm debuting a new segment. Nick, you're going to be the first contestant. The new segment is called, Is This a Highlight or a Lowlight? Jason Tatum with a lazy pass, but Terry Rozier comes out of nowhere and steals it. Nick, are you calling this a Rozier highlight or a Tatum lowlight?
No, that's a Tatum lowlight. Good job, Terry Rozier.
Incorrect.
That's
I'm
a Tatum
sorry,
lowlight.
Nicholas. $500 goes to Brady. It was a Rozier highlight.
Oh, check this out. You're not going to want to miss our pre-draft conversation with North Dakota State quarterback Trey Lance tomorrow, 9 Eastern. Join us in the morning. This on the heels of the NFL draft. And the big news out of San Francisco, we learned last night that he's now reportedly one of their options. Looking forward to that. Please join us tomorrow morning.
Yeah, let's go.
And with that, we slide seamlessly into basketball. Nice little transition. Brooklyn Nets. They got Kevin Durant back yesterday from that thigh contusion. And all I can say is, what thigh contusion? KD coming off the bench, 33 points, 28 minutes, Brandon, as the Nets came back to beat one of the hottest teams in the league. And your other team, the Phoenix Suns. So, all right, Brandon, where is your confidence in your Nets with regards to their title hopes after that show by KD last night?
Come on, Jenna. Have I ever wavered? In the last couple of months, I haven't wavered. Look, it's exactly where it was back in November. Well, Brandon, the season didn't start till December. What are you talking about? Well, when James Harden said, I want to get out of Houston and I want to go to the Brooklyn Nets, and we started that debate, I said, oh, boy, if those three get together, it can be over. It will be over. And so it hasn't wavered since that moment. Like this team, those three together, they checked the box. They answered the question, who's willing to sacrifice? Well, all three are willing to sacrifice. I know it's a small sample size, only 7 or 8 games, but they've shown us when they're on the court what they're willing to do. What is James Harden going to do? He can't play off the ball. Well, he goes to point guard. Right? Like, think about all those things that we were questioning before the season, and in the small sample size, they already answered it, and they're sitting at the top of the East. Look at last night, Nick. Like, if last night doesn't give you the confidence or even scare you on how good this team is, I don't know what is. If you watch the game, Kevin Durant didn't play the first quarter. What was happening?
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving was doing everything he could to keep the team close, and they stayed close. But if you were really watching the game, you was like, man, any minute, right? Any minute, any moment, the Suns are about to pull away and separate. Like it wasn't, you felt it. And then all of a sudden, 8 minutes left in the second quarter, Kevin Durant comes into the game. He checks in. I think Doris Burke may even say, like, I think that's Kevin Durant going to the scores table. The whole energy changed in the whole arena. And then all of a sudden he comes in, and from that moment on, they were in full control. And they show who they are. Right. And that's with 2 of the 3 big 3. Like, come on, man. Like, if last night didn't show you how awesome this team is and give you the confidence or scare you, I don't know what will.
Okay, so a few things. One is KD was sensational. And KD is an unstoppable offensive force. And the ease with which he gets buckets is it's not quite unprecedented in NBA history, but it is damn close to unprecedented. And there is no one in the league that matches up with him. Nobody. There is not a player in the league, it's like that guy will slow KD down. You just have to go into a game, say he's going to get 30. What can we do with the other guys? So, and he showed you that last night in his first game, full game back after dealing with the Charlie horse, the thigh contusion that kept him out for a few games. But before I give my thoughts on this game, I have a little, I must admit, Brandon, I'm a little confused. Because while I wasn't here last week, the good thing about these shows is they are broadcast on television. I was able to watch them.
I was going to.
Last week, I do think
I was about to bring it up.
Said, I'm finally going to admit I'm a little concerned. And so now you're like memory holding that. You're like, nope, same place I've been the whole time. Well, there was a slight dip in your confidence level last week because James Harden's going to be out for the rest of the regular season. And now it's back to where we need it to be, right? Am I wrong? Tell me. I don't want to put words in your mouth. Tell me if I'm wrong, if I missed translation.
No, you're right. I had to answer the question is because KD just went down. So I said, yes, I am a bit concerned and frustrated because we want to see all 3 together. But how I ended, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jenna and Wiles, I said, but this is what sports is. You have to deal with what you're giving. And right now, they're dealing with health issues. So they have to embrace it, and they'll be fine. Like, the reality is they're going to go into the playoffs because they're only, they only have 11 games left, and we're not going to see them build the chemistry and continuity needed to be a really good team, like one with a lot of confidence. So that's what I said, Kevin. And correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, no, well, I mean, you played both sides of it. You also said, quote, thank goodness Nick is not here so I can finally admit that I'm nervous. But we'll delete that from the first things first archives.
He mentioned that multiple times.
Nick, you know I'm a narratives guy, and I love a good comeback story. There's nothing better in sports. But there's a certain point where I'm like, you know what? Let's ease back on the comebacks. I'm a little comebacked out, like, KD, back from his Achilles, he gets 22 points. Fantastic. Hold on a second. KD, back from his hamstring, 5 for 5. KD, what was that? KD, back from his Charlie horse, scores 33 points. Just enough. When I got that many comebacks, it's a cause for concern. Like in the Jordan flu game once, you're like, Jordan, he's sick again, more flu. Influenza bug got Jordan again in the playoffs. Like, whoa, what's going on with this guy? A whole lot of flu. So I'm happy to see KD on the court, Nick, but my happiness is tempered with the fact that we're talking about his 3rd comeback this year.
So that's totally fair and legitimate, and I hope Durant is healthy the rest of the way, because I don't know if Harden's going to be healthy the rest of the way. Those soft tissue hamstring injuries can linger, and this is a player who's been such an Iron Man in his career. I actually think it kind of works against him now because he doesn't have a history of missing time and coming back. So they obviously need KD to stay healthy the rest of the way. But I'm going to tell you the best thing and the worst thing from the Nets yesterday and over the weekend. The best thing is Philly stumbled. And I have been consistent on this.
Yeah,
the 1 seed desperately matters. And Brooklyn, after that bad last weekend before, when they lose the game that I didn't think they should have, they almost came back against Philly.